Hi, I'm Paul from the Studio Rats. In today's video, we're going to be looking at this, which is the drip plugin from Carl Beats. Now, I don't know if you guys have been looking at Facebook recently or even YouTube ads, but I keep getting this advert that comes up with Carl Beats, who is a YouTube music producer, and his new plugin. So what I thought I'd do, I thought I'd just buy it and do a quick review and just see what I think of it. Now, my review is probably going to be slightly different, as most people that review this plugin or have looked at this plugin and done videos about it have been mainly sort of beat producers, while I'm definitely not a beat producer. So we're going to be using it on proper instruments, and actually what I'm going to do today, I'm going to use it on a guitar and we'll try it out on an 808 just to see how the two things can sound. So what we're going to do first of all is just to play the track with the plugin in bypass. Now, first of all, there's a bit of an issue, as the plugin has completely messed up my automation on a different track. Now, if you look at the graphics that are going on, you've got this sort of fluid coming out of a bottle, and you can see like your mix is sort of going up by the fluid level that's going up and down. Now, the graphics are jumping all over the place, and I haven't got an underpowered Mac. I'm using an iMac Pro, which is, you know, a pretty spec'd up machine. So what I'm going to do first of all is to click up here, and I'm going to turn the graphics off. Right, let's have another listen, and now let's see if the automation on that vocal is now working. So now it's working. So there's obviously an issue with the graphics. So the first thing that I'd recommend you do with this plugin is to turn off the graphics. It's just not needed, and for some reason I think some of the coding needs a bit of looking at. So let's have a look at some of the sounds. What I'm going to do first of all is just to solo the guitar. So let's load a preset in called Clay, and let's hear that guitar on its own. And let's hear that in the track. Okay, it's really interesting. You've got some modulation and some delay going on. Unfortunately, I don't know what's going on with the controls here, because it says shape, heat, spice, depth, time, feedback, and dry and wet. I'm guessing that's something to do with either the delay or the modulation. And this is probably the other side, either the delay or the modulation. So let's bring the overall control back to about 40%. Now, one of the first things I've noticed is the level has dropped. Let's put it in bypass and solo that guitar. And let's bring it in. Okay, it would have been nice to have an output control here, but let's just bring up the fader of the guitar a little bit, just so it sits a bit better in the mix. To be honest, I think that sounds great. I really like the way that it's given this multi-effect layer to the guitar that's, you know, would take quite a lot of time to produce if you actually had, like, you know, modulation plugin, delay plugin, and reverb. So let's just solo that and let's try some different presets. So I've switched it to the preset turnaround. Now, instantly the woofers on the side of my speakers have just gone poof, and they've like almost popped out of the cabinet. Let me just play that again. There is an issue, obviously, with when you're choosing all these presets. Just make sure you turn down your monitors before you start changing the presets. Now, this is interesting. So it says 808. What I'm going to do with this, I'm going to switch this back to the clay setting. I'm going to bring that overall back to about 40%. Right, let's stop the track there. Now what I'm going to do is to go to my 808 track. Let's solo that. And let's load in drip on this track as well. And let's choose that 808 preset. Okay, so instantly what's happened, it's completely loaded up my channel. So let's bring the overall back. Again, this would be great if it just had like a volume on it so you can actually turn it down. So let's hear that in the track. Now this is great because what it's doing, it's slightly distorting the 808 bass, and that's going to make it translate to smaller speakers, laptops, earbuds, that sort of thing. Just hear that in the mix again and I'll bypass it. So actually, it's really good. I really like what it's done to the 808. I think it'd be really useful to use on live bass as well, where you can slightly distort the bass guitar just so it pokes through the mix a little bit more. Now, there are some issues with this plugin. One of the things is the graphics. Really need to turn the graphics off. Now, one of the other things I think you could really do with is a manual, just to explain what's going on with spice, heat, shape, and depth. Maybe that's a good thing because, you know, you're going to try and experiment with different things. But for me personally, I'd like to know, you know, what's going on under the hood. So heat, I'm guessing, is saturation. Shape, I don't know. Spice, I don't know. Depth, I don't know. So a manual would be great. Maybe there is a manual, but maybe I haven't found it. But it could be a little bit more obvious. So anyway, I really hope you guys got something out of that. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and you'll be notified of any future videos that come out from the Studio Rats. I'm Paul, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.